Hey guys, in this session let us learn how to create a listener for our database. So we have two utilities which we can invoke to create a listener. We can use either net CA, which means net configuration assistant, or net manager, net MGR. So let us use net configuration assistance, which is very easy for listener creation. So first you can choose the configuration you would like. So here I will choose listener configuration. So we are going to add a listener. Click on next. So here you have to give a name for your listener. Okay, so here I will say listener underscore my instance name. So in reality you may have multiple listeners in your system. So if each and every database should be having a dedicated listener, then the naming convention will be listener underscore instance name, or it may be depending on the requirement. Okay, so I'm giving the instance SID name. Click on next. Here you can choose the protocols, whatever protocols required. Since TCP is more sufficient, we can select TCP. Click on next. So here you can choose the port. Okay, so on which port the client connections will come and hit through the listener. 1521. So 1521 is the default port for Oracle, but you can also use any other ports as you like, 1523 or any other open ports which does not have any firewall restrictions. Okay, so here I will use default port. So if there are multiple listeners, then there may be different ports for each and every listener. Okay, so you can click on next. You can see the message that use another port number. Information provided for the listener is currently in use by other software on this computer. So if the port number is already in use, then you can choose some different port. I will say 1523. Okay, even 1523 is also used by some other system. So how you will check if the port is available or not? You can log into root user and you can use netstat command. Okay, you have some parameters that you can use, and you can say grep 1521. Okay, if the port is already in use, then it will be having this message called listen. Okay, so this means that the port is already in use. If I say 1523, it's not in use, so I can use it, but still it shows that it has been used by some other software. But yeah, you can override this. So it is again asking if we need to configure another listener. You can say no, and yeah, now the listener configuration is complete. You can say finish. Now I will specify the listener name to start. So it says that error listening on this particular connection string. It says the connection failed because target host or object does not exist. And so let's see the listener file. Go to network admin. So this is the directory where all the network files will be residing. Okay, you have the entries over here, but the host name is something different, so that's why we got this error. So here we can specify the IP address. Now if I start the listener, my listener started. If I set status, I can see all the services which are up and running. You can also specify the listener name if you are confused, because sometimes multiple listeners will be there. You may not know which listener status you are checking. So if I specifically check the listener status, you can see there are no other supported service because the services are not registered with this particular listener, right? So here you can see the listener log file. You can see only listener, but here you can see the listener with a SID which we created now. So the already running listener has all these services registered, so that's why it is showing the default listener details. Okay.